West.
Eventually, the trail led to a barn fire hundreds of miles away.
And later found beaten, unclothed, and unconscious.
A senseless murder with no motive.
I just want justice for her. That's all I want. She don't deserve to die that way.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel here. It's Lavender here, and today I am doing another true crime case. Today I am doing the murders of Olamide Adeyooye and E. Lee story. Disclaimer, these two cases are separate. These two cases are not in one. They're different cases. They're not the same crime scene. I just wanted to do these two together because there's not very much information about the cases overall. So, yeah, so again, these two cases are not related. They're totally different time periods. One was in 2020, which is the E. Lee one, and then the Olamide one I think is in like 2007 or something. So anyway, let's get started in this video. So yeah. I decided to do this video because, like, these two cases in particular are very, like, underwhelmingly seen in, like, the media. Like, mainstream media has not covered this, you know, and I think it's because, you know, they're people of color. I mean, one of the victims is, you know, Nigerian, a black woman. The other one is, like, an Asian woman. And, you know, I think it has to do with color because I remember seeing a while ago, there was a story of this trans woman, black trans woman going missing, and, you know, there wasn't really any coverage or whatever, but when a white girl in the same area went missing, you know, everyone went and looked for them, you know, and they later found her body, and she was murdered and stuff. So that's kind of why I want to do this video, is to bring these cases to light, because, you know, media and news and mainstream media aren't, you know, giving it the light of day. So let's get started into this video. So yeah. So first we're going to do the murder of Olamide. So this case has been featured in a number of media and TV. It is most notably in the Forensic Files true crime documentary. The episode is called Convert the Neighbor. So let's get into the story of this true crime case. So yeah. In 2005, 21-year-old Olamide, a Illinois State University college student, had been studying laboratory sciences and biology in the area at her college and was due to graduate in December of that year. She planned to graduate last semester and return to the Chicago area for clinical laboratory work. A native of Nigeria who moved to suburbs in Chicago when she was 8, Olamide had planned to return to the Chicago area to complete her clinical training at a hospital in the local area. She was last seen nearby 2 weeks ago at a video store near her apartment in Normal, a college town in central Illinois. She was a normal college student woman who would return a video, then talk to a friend or her boyfriend at the time on the phone. Friends called her Aloha or Ollie and have described her as studious, quick with a smile, and hard-working woman. An alternative rock fan who loved to shop and waitressed on the weekends to help pay for school, college expenses. I am my own hero, I am my own motivation, and let's not forget the people that are closest to me. My friends are those who get me through life. Olamide wrote on her online blog a while ago. Some, when she disappeared, had wondered whether Olamide's blog, which contains personal information about her school and where she worked, might have contributed to her disappearance. This is not true. However, on October 13th, Olamide actually went missing. Wednesday, after learning their daughter's fate, her father spoke of her in the present. She is diligent, quiet, hard to offend someone, but we are missing her at this time, said her father. Samantha Trotta, one of her best friends, said that Olamide had been worrying and crying on the phone about the class in the days before her disappearance. She characterized it as usual stress of a college student, at which prompted Olamide to study at the library until midnight the night before she disappeared. A police database entry led authorities to an Illinois Connect to the missing girl, where police were called to a body found in a lake discovered by workers cleaning up after a recent fire in a rural chicken coop. There was a woman's body in it, and DNA, analysis proved the body was hers. After following up investigating leads and tips, Maurice Wallace name came up in the investigation by neighbors in the area. People described him as weird and odd and cold. He didn't go to college, but he would show up to college parties uninvited. He had a history of saying that black Nigerian women shouldn't date white guys, or black women in general shouldn't date white guys. Wallace made a phone call about 8 p.m. on October 13th to a person she would not identify. He said that he was depressed and wanted to leave the country, and that he felt like killing someone to pursue his personal cause of becoming a martyr and get his name in the news and media outlets, she said. Wallace had moved into the apartment just 150 yards away from Olamide's one-bedroom apartment. Olamide was acquainted with Wallace, but the two were not friends at all and did not date at all. They were not dating. Wallace was arrested on fraud charges on October 20th in Atlanta, Georgia, where police found Olamide's car. Wallace was driving a rental car at the time of his arrest, and police found Wallace's belongings and Olamide's keys in it. There's no reason for him to have the keys, so he murdered her. I hope he has no chance of ever harming anybody else. He already screwed up enough lives as it is because he felt depressed, Olamide's boyfriend said. The evidence would later, go on to say that Maurice Wallace may have walked into her apartment and made some advances towards her, and she said no, and then he flew into a rage and stabbed her to death with a knife. He tried using bleach to clean the floor up, and he just put a pile of clothes on it. He then took her body, put it in the trunk of his car, leaving blood trails along the way. He left his DNA on the light switch with the blood of the light switch, and that's how he got caught. Maurice Wallace's bizarre behavior in the courtroom was another thing. He pleaded guilty to all counts against him in the slaying of Olamide and in an escape attempt which he almost killed a jail guard who suffered, I think, broken eye socket and face injuries. He was sentenced to natural life plus 50 years in prison. And on Olamide's mother, she said, "Life in prison gives me no gratification. I wish he had never touched my daughter," said the mother, the 21-year-old. The mother was quoted saying she worked and went to school. She worked hard, and he prevented her from enjoying the fruits of her labor by taking her life, her mother had stated. Now on to the story of E. Lee's murder. There is no mainstream media information on this, or no documentary or media or TV documentaries about this, so let's just get started into her true crime story. So E. Lee, who was born on 1984, was an Asian American woman who was raped and killed in a broad daylight attack in Milwaukee, filmed, and everyone was watching it. Lee was last seen walking to Washington Park at 6:18 p.m. wearing a light blue and gray hooded sweatshirt and carrying a green coat and yellow bag with her. According to the criminal complaint, Lee was beaten, gang raped, assaulted, and then dragged into the pond in the Washington Park and left to die. She was found half-clothed and unconscious by the time some bystanders had found her in the area. She was undressed below the waist, indicating a gang rape and sexual assault. She suffered severe concussions to the face and head. A hospital examination confirmed the massive sexual assault. It was actually claimed to be one of the worst sexual assaults they've ever seen at the hospital, and taken to the hospital where she later died 3 days later due to blunt force trauma, the concussion to the head. A criminal complaint said the video showed 5 to 6 people potentially involved in the crime running from the area as fast as they could. It appeared Lee had been taken from a blanket to a tree where the sexual assault occurred. She was then dragged to the edge of the pond and left for dead. They saw this lady on a blanket in the park, walked up to her to see if she had any money, and then started harassing her. Eyewitness said to the authorities. 2 local teens, Kamar Lewis, 17, and Kevin Spencer, 15, were both arrested and charged with first-degree intentional homicide. Lewis had allegedly recorded the rape and killing on his phone and laughed about it, and had shared the video with friends in the area. Approximately 9 other youths are present in the video. According to the criminal complaint, in 2 different interviews, Lewis had also said to have claimed that Lee offered to have sex with him consensually in front of the other boys. One of the suspects said they never called for help because he thought she was dead or soon to be dead, and it wouldn't have made a difference, and that he didn't really care about her because she's not someone he knows personally. The second person who found the bodies, he witnessed Lewis hitting Lee with tree branches and punching her in the face, while Spencer also beat the victim too. After the beating, he said Spencer told his buddy to put her in the water, and they started dragging her towards the water. And on January 12th, months after the crime, detectives got a call from the mother that indicated the witness who indicated she may have a video that the police would be interested in seeing on his old iPhone sent to her son via Facebook Messenger by Lewis, but later deleted. She said the video showed two boys beating a lady, and you could tell who they were. Nothing. A lot of the little kids standing in the area around. She said they received the video about 2 days after the incident and told her son to get rid of the video because it doesn't have anything to do with him, adding that he should stay away from Cameron and Lewis. DNA from Lewis and Spencer were found on Lee's denim jacket and on her body. Both Lewis and Spencer were charged as adults, and if convicted in 2021, could face life imprisonment. One of them has pleaded not guilty. That's all I know about this case. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Bye guys, see you next video.